In this project, we added an extension to my sister's freeze dryer cart. I added almost 2 feet to one end of it. The only thing I had to buy were the hinges. I had everything else. This shelf or desktop was something I'd had hanging around for years that somebody had given me, and it was already broken on one end. And I decided I couldn't really use it, and I was going to get rid of it, but 5 years later I still hadn't gotten rid of it. Now I finally found a use for it. I've said it a lot of times, procrastination is the key to flexibility. I have this little piece of wood, or 2 little pieces of wood, clamped on there, so this doesn't go sailing off the end. Oh, here's the scrap piece that I had. Okay, so it's about 3/4 of an inch narrower, so we'll center it, add the little hinge pieces, and we'll have this as an extension to use on there. That should work pretty well. I wonder if I would press record. Wow, that is still missing a lot of power. But on the other hand, it's the same hand. Look at that. You can barely see where the stitches were now. And it's only been 7 weeks. It's coming along. Most of the problem is in these 2 fingers at this point. These are doing pretty well. But these 2, whew, they're not doing perfect yet. Okay, let's continue on. So I'm adding a fold up extension, or a fold down, whichever, extension to my sister's table, and I need to find out how much thicker it is than this so that I can line them up. So I'm going to have the hinge piece that much lower, and boy, it's not very much. I just need to have that spacer. So what is it that I need? Oh yeah, less than that. Half of that. Okay, that's pretty close. That thickness should work. So I need to just have this space, and I'll put this as a spacer between this and the bottom of that shelf area, and that will give me the height I need. I can take this, put it right up against that, and that'll give me the spacing that I need so that when this is up, that piece of shelving should be pretty close to the same height as that. This is about the same thickness as that side wall. There's a little bit of space in here. So if my screw goes a little bit past, not going to be a big deal, and I could always add a washer. This is where doing hundreds of them would be easier, because then you'd build a beautiful, perfect template, and everything would be perfect all the time. Yeah, I'll get the other one. All right, that'll give me a space. Now I can put this along there. And a piece of this for a spacer, and I don't need this big piece, so I can just take a chunk off. Just need that for a spacer. Pencil. Pretty much parallel with that side. Okay, circle there. Okay, there's my circles. And then this can come off. There we go. This is a stupid light. It's an old drill, and it's got a stupid light. The light specifically misses where the bit's going to be. See that? It's in the shadow. Anyway, that's what I've got. Lower it down, and I can go through this hole. Okay, and I just need the center one. Got the screws in there. Looks like I've got them tight enough. Everything seems snug. Okay. That's pretty close. Especially considering this isn't exactly flat anymore. So it's about right there and here. It dips down a little here because it's sagged over the years, but that'll be plenty good for this. Of course, I need to screw it on still, but that's it for the night. Well, we'll finish attaching that later. So I got the top piece on there, and it's just taped right now so that it won't move, and I can get the bottom screws on there. And the first thing we need to do is to make sure that this piece stays parallel all the way, because if these are splayed in or out in relationship to each other, then you can't fold it down, because they have to be able to mesh with the upright portion. To check it, I'm just using a simple stick and then hold another stick on top of it just to measure it and make sure that it's the same all the way. Just bump it up against there, bump us against there. So see if there's any space. Okay, I've got that one parallel. Now I can drill up through for the screws. And to make sure I don't drill through the top, which would be kind of a bummer, I just added a little piece of tape because I don't have any of the little drill stop things that you can clamp on there. Anyway, so that's my maximum depth that I need for the screw that I'm using. So just drill up through here and then screw them on. I might have to just mark them and then take it off and then drill them, because I can't get the drill bit into that space, I think. Yeah, I need an extension to do that, because I can't do that. I've got extensions for the screwdriver portion, but not for this bit. So I'm gonna just have to mark them. Well, bummer. I was hoping I could drill right into there and be done with it. Get it marked. Mark off for each screw hole. Okay, and then of course I need to do the same for the other side, and again measure it to make sure it's parallel. And then there's one more screw under here, so I'll have to move that slightly. Okay, that looks perfect. So I can mark that one. Yeah, we get these holes drilled. So when I marked them from underneath, so I can center on it. I can show this before I put the top on. It's a lot easier to see how this works before the top's on. So it has little handles right here. That's the latches. You press up on those, and then this will fold down. And it automatically locks into place when you bring it up. Okay. Now we'll get the screws on from underneath. I can only get a couple of them in there without the extensions. You can really see how much space that added. It's only 22 inches long and 22 inches deep. It almost equals the space that she had available between the vacuum pump and the sealer. It added a huge amount of space. You can get all 4 trays on there or 3 batches worth of bags on there. Really handy. And if you don't need it there, you can fold it down. as I said, if you're not using it, you can fold it down. It's got the little levers underneath. Pop those down, and then it folds down out of the way. I'm not sure when she would do that, but if we were going to roll it around or put it in a different position, maybe we wouldn't need that. It's that easy. And just locks back up into place and ready to go.